Hello, in this video we will talk about variables. A variable is a data storage container that our program can manipulate. The term variable comes from the fact that it can change its content during our program. We can declare a variable for all the types of data that we've talked about so far. The moment we want to create a variable, we must first determine what type of data it will store. Let's go back to IntelliJ. I have already created a new project and I called it variables. Let's create together a new class and name it variables. Right-click, new Java class, variables. Inside this class, we will also write a main method, psvm tab. You already know this abbreviation. When we want to declare a text variable, we must first specify the data type, which in this case is string. We will write string. Let's call our variable name. This string name will be equal to our value. Here, in quotation marks, you can enter your name. I'm gonna say Tudor. At the end, we must write a semicolon, as you already know. String name is the declaration of my variable. Equals the value Tudor represents the initialization of my variable. In my box called name, I just put the value Tudor. I can use this box to print its value. I can write a system.out println, and here, instead of the value of my name, I can use directly my variable that encapsulates that information. I can write n, and you can see that IntelliJ already suggests you that you have this variable name available. If I run the application, the contents of my variable will be printed. If I printed the variable name, I can see its value in the console. Let's declare another variable that contains the following text. I like Java. By the way, this is a comment, as you already know. It is ignored by the compiler. The data type is text, so we will automatically need to encapsulate that value in a string variable. We can write string, after which we will give a name to our variable. I will call it myText. As a general convention, the names of the variables must be written in camel case. Camel case means that the first word will always start with a lowercase letter, and any other word that will be written next to my word will start with a capital letter. Now I can initialize my variable. I will write equals I like Java. At the end, semicolon. To print my text, I can use the system.out println in which I will pass my variable myText. System.out println myText. If I run the program, the contents of my variable will be printed again. We will never be allowed to declare two variables with the same name. If I try to declare another string variable that is called myText, let's say I will write string myText equals text2, we can see that I'm not allowed, because I already declared a variable with this name. The variables, as I said at the beginning of the video, can also be changed. First, I declare the myText variable, which I initialize it with the value I like Java and printed it. That's why I like Java appeared in the console. My variable, as I said, can be changed. After I printed it, I can type myText equals new text. If I try to print my text again, system.out println myText, and run the application, the modified value will appear in the console. The first time, I initialized my variable with the value I like Java, after which I printed it. After that, I overwrote my text I like Java with my new text and printed it again. Let's declare a variable for each data type we know. If we want to declare an integer variable, we will write int my integer equals 100. I can also put this number inside the systemoutPrintln instruction. SystemoutPrintln my integer. If I run the application, I can see my number here. For double data types, we will have a double variable. I can write double and name my variable my double number, which is equal to 55.6. Likewise, I can print my double number. I can also declare and initialize a float variable. I can say float. My float number equals to 44.4. If I put a semicolon here, the compiler will show me I have an error. If you remember, each time you use a float number, you must specify the letter F at the end. So I will write 44.4F. This number can also be printed. If I run the application, I can see all my values printed in the console. Characters can be encapsulated in char type variables. I will write char letter is equal to, and if you remember from the previous video, the characters must always be specified in single quotes. I will open my single quote and I will type the letter A. I can also print that character, that letter. Truth values can be encapsulated in Boolean variables. I will write Boolean value true. If I print it, it will print true for me. In conclusion, every time I want to declare a variable, I will have to specify the data type, to give it a name of my choice, convenient to always be camel case, after which to initialize it, to write equals the value. I will never be allowed to declare, for example, an int test variable, in which to start inserting another type of data, such as string, let's say text. My compiler will show that it is a problem. Also, I can declare a variable of type string test2, in which I will try to put a number, for instance 2, and so on. The specified data type must always be the initialized value. In the next video, we will do some exercises in which we will use variables.